Fact Check TV.
On the evening of September 8th, 2017, in a suburb just outside Chicago, Illinois, in the village of Rosemont, a party celebrating the 21st birthday of Irene Roberts. The location, the Crowne Plaza Hotel. Like most teenagers and young adults, the invitation was posted on Facebook, an open invite to come party in room 926. Kenneka Jenkins, who herself had a reason to celebrate, she had just got a new job. She planned to celebrate low-key at the movies, but instead convinced by her friend Monifa Shelton to drive the 30 minutes to Rosemont and celebrate with Irene. This would turn out to be a fateful decision. In a case that has drawn worldwide attention on social media, Fact Check TV will explore the mystery of Kenneka Jenkins' death. Was this an accident as the official cause of death from the Cook County Coroner's Office? Did the hotel have something to do with it? Or did something far more sinister happen to this beautiful young girl? We will explore the evidence in the case file and discuss the narratives from the hotel, friends, family, and even the police department. Was there a rush to judgment by the Rosemont Police Department? Was the investigation conducted in a manner according to the rules of a crime scene investigation? Who is culpable in Kenneka's death? We will lay out the facts, and you be the judge. After hours of research and checking receipts of many false narratives expressed on social media, we will also go over the initial surveillance video released by the Chicago Tribune, showing Kenneka stumbling through the halls and into the kitchen, and lay out for you the discrepancies we found and what you need to know.
Yo.
On a fall evening, Kenneka did her hair and got dressed for a birthday party of a friend, Irene Roberts, whom she met 2 years earlier through mutual friends, Shamaya Wilder and Monifa Shelton, who she known since 3rd grade. Kenneka grabbed her mom's keys and told her mom that she was going out, then left the house with friends at 11:30 to first pick up a Bluetooth speaker to take to the party. Along the way, they stopped at Franken Liquor and Foods to grab a bottle of Hennessy to sip on the way to the Crowne Plaza Hotel. It wasn't uncommon to ride with friends while listening to music, singing along, and dancing, as well as drinking. And although it wasn't in Kenneka's character, her friends smoked marijuana, a plant that contains the mind-altering chemical THC and other similar compounds. Marijuana is the most commonly used illicit drug in the United States, and its use is widespread among youth Kenneka and her friends' age.
Before leaving Chicago, Kenneka and Shamaya, known as Maya, Abriana, known as Bree, and Monifa, known as Nifa, stop at a local gas station where they take a moment to Snapchat the video. What you will see next is actual footage. As the girls pull into the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Rosemont, Illinois, Kenneka immediately realizes there is a fee. She quickly gets on her cell phone and calls Irene Roberts, who was already awaiting the girls' arrival. Irene advises them they can charge the parking to the hotel room 926.
Here we see Irene Roberts during a live video she posted on Facebook. According to Irene, the party had not gotten lit yet and they were still waiting for partygoers to arrive. Miss Roberts also stated that she was high on ecstasy during the party. That would make sense of a lot of her behaviors that we witness. Contrary to what most believe, it's actually the reason why her lips are quivering and shaking in her second live video. It also explains why her timeline is off. One of the effects of ecstasy is that it deeply impairs your perception of time. An hour can go by like it's 10 minutes, and 10 minutes can feel like it's 10 hours. It seems like this is also a normal thing in this group. In my opinion, the use of drugs is just another layer of all the dangers that these kids are exposed to and face on a daily basis. Irene stated herself how Kenneka's death was slightly her fault because she was off her square, basically admitting that her impaired state, along with Kenneka and the rest of her friends, directly hindered not only their search efforts, but had a direct effect on Kenneka's death. What started out as a celebratory gathering turned into a very tragic event in a blink of an eye.
Kenneka came. She called me, matter of fact.
Girl, I'm on my way.
Nah, she called me when she's downstairs. Like, we downstairs, how you enter. And I told her.
Who she was with?
She was with her people,
Maya?
Shamaya, yeah.
Okay.
Maya.
She's with
Monifa.
She's with Maya and Monifa. And Bree. Maya.
Once inside the elevator, some have speculated that Kenneka Jenkins passed her keys to one of her friends.
You know where the slide go up with the gang.
So once Kenneka, Monifa, Shamaya, and Abriana gets off the elevator and proceeds to walk to room 926. Then they enter the room, walks to the restroom inside of room 926 before meeting up with Irene to freshen up.
Oh, you want to do something?
Irritated.
At 1:20 a.m., Kenneka then sends a text to Shamaya's phone stating that she was ready to go, which makes me question who or what made Kenneka feel uncomfortable that she wanted to leave the party so soon, and they had not too long ago arrived.
As it will ultimately show in Kenneka Jenkins' toxicology report that she had the prescription drug topiramate in her system at the time of death, another portion of this video stands out to those seeking the reopening of Jenkins' accidental death case. No one can say for a fact what, if anything, suspicious is taking place as Tanasia leaves the restroom with this glass. However, the speculation alone raised during this video should be enough for police to investigate further. The content of this particular live video may not be immediately apparent. However, taking the time to familiarize yourself with gang culture in Chicago may cause you to view this video through a different lens. In the following live video, recorded at 2:36 a.m., on the early morning of September 9, 2017, by Tyrese Rowland, better known by the nickname Ty, Kenneka Jenkins can be seen along with approximately 25 others. This will be the last documented footage collected by Rosemont Police Department where Jenkins is seen amongst other partygoers.
Yeah, it's too late for that.
Yep. There go the manager. My car keys, my weed. That ain't no motherfucking manager. Oh, that is a manager. That is a manager. Chief. On BD, all of them. Turn that pappy ringtone off. Off that pappy ringtone.
Ty, along with his sister Tanasia, can be heard claiming gang affiliations with a notable Chicago street gang known as Crazy Crew. They are also seen throwing down, or what's known as dissing, another popular street gang, the GDs, or Gangster Disciples. Though it appears as everyone in the video is having a peaceful time partying amongst one another, one phrase spoken by Tanasia would lead those familiar with gang culture to believe otherwise. Gyro is a term that refers to peace amongst all gangs on the streets of Chicago.
We crazy crew, baby. Big C.
Hey, didn't say turn the music off, folks? Y'all don't listen, folks. Don't listen, folks.
This, however, will not be the only reason this video is viewed as a key piece of evidence in what should be deemed a crime investigation.
At approximately 1:36 a.m., Irene Roberts records a live video using Monifa Shelton's page. This infamous live video spawned several conspiracy theories. While many of these theories are unsubstantiated, it is clear from the audio that Kenneka Jenkins was heard but not seen in a discussion with Monifa Shelton.
This slow fucking. Let me see. She played fucking Rick Ross. Let me see. Same fuck on me earlier.
Man, the phones ain't working. This weak ass connection. Shut up. You steady talking to me. You want to get into it? Yeah.
I'm trying to get into it about back and forth like she doing.
In an off-camera discussion, you hear Kenneka announce, quote, "Y'all blowing me. Y'all some pimps up in here." There is conversation about parking and also a $200 fine if you don't have a ticket. You hear other conversations and then the buffering music begins to play.
Wait, I just get the video.
No, tough shit all night.
What did it too? Hello.
I think she crazy.
Parking inside. It's the parking lot. It's a parking lot.
Motherfuckers can use them tickets a lot of times too. So you can go in.
Park at the parking lot.
If somebody else parking here, y'all just gotta let them use y'all shit.
You look pretty. Happy birthday. Thank you. That is hi, my kids. I told you. What you saying over there, Slick? What you say? What you say, Gail Smart?
I really need the weed, bro.
Damn, I just got the weed.
But you just passed and they just passed it back.
Let me see who you talking to. It don't matter. I'm putting my face on it. Did you put any enforce in this? It's on the weekend's connection. Hello? 9:26. 26. What y'all can do?
After a pause in the music, you hear Monifa accusing Kenneka of being inebriated and accusing her of not enjoying herself. Kenneka denies being intoxicated and responds that she is enjoying herself. Although we hear several voices in the background, only Irene, Monifa, Aubriana, and an unidentified male in black are clearly captured in the camera.
You got some money for me? Check it out. Yeah.
I'm not drunk. I am enjoying myself.
In an interview on Zach TV, as well as in narratives from the case file, Irene Roberts admits to being under the influence of ecstasy and marijuana. In fact, we see her smoking a blunt in this video. Based on our investigations and on initial footage released by Rosemont Department of Public Safety, we surmise that this video was recorded towards the end of the party, or shortly before Kenneka Jenkins is seen exiting the elevator in an inebriated state. This would fit the narrative from Ms. Roberts and others that Kenneka went missing slightly after 2 a.m. In a text message at 1:20 a.m., Kenneka texts that she is ready to go. At 1:58 a.m., Shamaya responds that she is ready to leave also. It is stated that Kenneka, Shamaya, and Monifa left the room around the 2 o'clock hour. Within a short period of time, they come back into the room and report Kenneka missing.
Monifa Shelton, whom we see here, claims to have been the best friend of Kenneka Jenkins since the 3rd grade. From all accounts, it looks as if these girls shared a normal and close friendship. The two were even pregnant together, but tragically, both pregnancies ended in late-term miscarriages. Did something change in their friendship? Many accuse Monifa of setting up her best friend. Things even got as bad as Monifa threatening suicide over social media. Did guilt over Kenneka's death prompt this? Or were the accusations and assumptions enough to get to her? Does Monifa Shelton know what really happened to Kenneka Jenkins? Or is she simply guilty of failing her best friend that fateful night in Rosemont? Maybe one day we will get to hear her version of events and we will get the truth. But sadly, justice may be stalled until that day.
Kenneka Jenkins was feeling tipsy at the party after having a few cocktails and went and lay down next to Sakara, which is Irene Roberts' sister. Shortly after laying down and trying to find some time to recoup, Shamaya and Monifa wake Kenneka Jenkins up, advising her that they are ready to leave.
Okay, it was like 2 different stories. First, that day that she came, she came up missing, they stated that they left her in the front lobby, which is on my 911 call.
Okay.
Because that's what they told me. Then later on that day, in the afternoon, headed towards the evening, they stated to me they left her upstairs by the room door,
At 2:24 a.m., Kenneka exits the elevator on the lower level. She appears unsteady, and she is captured on camera staggering down the house, barely able to hold herself upright. She enters the kitchen, then exits, and is seen in the house again, where she goes into a bathroom briefly, exits, and walks back into another entrance of the lower level kitchen. According to speculation, she walks up a set of stairs and enters the upper kitchen, which is located on the 1st floor of the hotel. She is last seen at 3:32 a.m. as she disappears around a corner.
Many have questioned why didn't the individuals in the party not notice or seem to care that their friend was missing. Many of these young adults claim to have received notification that Kenneka Jenkins was missing between the hours of 2:30 a.m. and 3:30. However, they never stopped to look for Kenneka. Many have questioned, why was she the only one under the influence? And how did she get so intoxicated within a matter of 45 minutes to an hour? Fact Check TV has always wondered, was Kenneka drugged before leaving Chicago? Is it possible Kenneka's friends set her up? Is the answer to all the questions in front of our face? Is it even possible in so little time, in the condition she was in, to go unseen? Chicago Police Department has built a narrative that within 45 minutes, Kenneka was intoxicated and lost. Many YouTubers have provided different theories, and in our own way continue to fight for justice. Is it a possibility that the Chicago Police Department intentionally left out information, helped coerce narratives, or is this truly an accident?
According to a Rosemont PD reenactment team, only 8 minutes lapsed from her exiting the elevator and entering the kitchen and walking into the freezer. Toxicology reports released surmised that her staggering was caused by a combination of alcohol and topiramate, a drug that Kenneka was never prescribed according to her family. Did Kenneka take the drug or was her drink spiked? Another unanswered question surrounding this case.
Many people have noticed the time changes and the glitches from the footage from Rosemont Police Department. Fact Check TV has called Chicago Tribune to verify and question the reasons the timestamps have changed by at least an hour on all of the footage showing Kenneka Jenkins. While speaking to the Chicago Tribune reporter, we were advised that Chicago Tribune received original footage provided by Rosemont Police Department on both occasions, and they did not feel the need to retract their story. Fact Check TV was also told by the reporter that from the start of this case, there has always been at least a 1-hour discrepancy in the time showing on footage, but they did not feel the need to do further investigation. That raised huge alarms for Fact Check TV, and again, it made us dig in to ask more questions and to find out exactly what it is that was going on. Unfortunately, that's about where our investigation ended. We hit a wall. Nobody wanted to provide the questions. When we tried to send information over to get particular answers, or at least to have people dig deeper into it, nobody really wanted to touch the Kenneka Jenkins case or the footage provided. So again, please take the moment, review the footage, notice the times, how the chime has changed. Kenneka arrives at 12:13 on one video, she arrives at 1:13 on another video. That should raise huge alarms for everybody wanting justice for Kenneka.
In this footage, we're able to take a look at the lobby of the Crowne Plaza Hotel around the time that Irene Roberts' party began to let out. The time in the footage is placed around 4 a.m., which seems to match up with the narratives given in the case file. We also see a young woman from the party being carried out by friends. The woman appears to be injured and she is holding a towel to her head. There are numerous different groups walking through the lobby of the Crowne Plaza and exiting the main entrance. One thing that stands out is that nobody seems to have a care or sense of urgency for their missing friend. At one point, one girl even bends over and begins to twerk in the lobby. Monifa Shelton and Shamaya Winder are the only ones searching for Kenneka. They're later joined by Aubriana Mays, Ty Rowland, and another male. The girls briefly approach the front desk at one point, still not showing much urgency. The group later takes a seat in the lobby while Ty Rowland approaches the front desk. At this point, Monifa Shelton looks to be very frustrated, and the entire group seems bothered. The fact that Ty Rowland is looking for Kenneka Jenkins is also peculiar in itself, as he supposedly didn't really know her. Why is it that he is looking for her and her supposed blood cousins at the party did not? It makes you wonder if the entire search is just for show. As time goes on and the need to locate Kenneka should increase, it seems the opposite happens. The group gets more and more frustrated and could care less about their friend. Throughout the 36 hours of footage provided by Rosemont Police Department, you can see Kenneka's friends search for her for about an hour. There is also a boy in a red cap and a white t-shirt who is in all the same areas as Kenneka, but not too far behind her. This young man has been identified as Dorian Hill, aka Killer. It's very strange how everyone is in the same area, but they keep on missing Kenneka. It reminds me of the old cat and mouse cartoons with none of the added humor. Another thing that doesn't quite add up is Kenneka's suspected path and how long it takes her to travel it. We see it takes her roughly 10 minutes to roam the halls from the elevators to the kitchen. She would then have to take a back employee corridor from the lower kitchen to the upper kitchen. This corridor also has a very steep set of stairs Kenneka would have to climb in order to reach the area in which she was found. How did she navigate this area in just a minute? How was she able to make it up the staircase with no issues? Everyone, including Kenneka's friends as well as the police, claimed that she was severely intoxicated, which we can see in the hallway footage. Kenneka had very poor balance and she was slamming into the walls. How is it that someone that was so apparently impaired able to make it up those steps without falling, but also so quickly? Another discrepancy here is the many time jumps within the lobby footage. Unlike the other cameras in the Crowne Plaza Hotel, the lobby camera is not motion censored and it records continuously. How, and more importantly, why are these time jumps present? This brings me to a topic of great speculation on social media. Were the footages edited? While there is some evidence to support this theory, unfortunately, it is not something that we're able to fact check at this time. An expert in the field did explain that it is not possible for the footage to be edited on the hard drive that it is directly streamed to. However, Rosemont Police Department did not receive that original hard drive. The footage was given to them on a flash drive. This means that the files were pulled from Crowne Plaza's hard drive, then transferred to a flash drive, and then given to the Rosemont Police Department. During this process, the files are converted into what's called EXE files, and those can be edited, but not in the way that most believe. You see, with motion-censored cameras, the files are saved in something that's called motion scenes. So once the files were put into that flash drive, any motion scenes could have been easily deleted. It is highly unlikely and very expensive for any other types of edits to have been done. If they were going to go through all of that trouble and editing, why not just edit Kenneka leaving the hotel completely and relieving themselves of any and all liability and responsibility? The editing people believe was done just is not likely. For some reason, the tragic death of Kenneka Jenkins has brought out a lot of ugliness in this world. Facebook and YouTube have helped create crazy conspiracies and theories surrounding her death. It has gone as far as some believing this was an elaborate setup for organ harvesting. Let Fact Check TV clear it up for everyone. Just about all of that is bogus. Most of it does not even stem from facts or reality-based information. The fact that so much does not make sense and that there are so many questions left unanswered fuel all of this. One big question that Fact Check TV has is when exactly did Kenneka Jenkins arrive at the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Rosemont? Furthermore, when exactly did she go missing? There are a lot of discrepancies with the video timestamps. This makes it very difficult to pin down a clear timeline. In footage released by the Rosemont Police Department in an article in the Chicago Tribune on October 20th, 2017, it states that Kenneka and her friends arrived at 1:13 a.m., while the footage released in the same article reads 0013, which is 12:13 a.m. in military time. In the article, it also states that Kenneka exited the lower lobby elevator at 3:25 a.m. The timestamp in that footage is blurred. Yet, in a previously published article by the Chicago Tribune, released on October 17, 2017, in the same footage, the timestamp is enlarged and it reads 2:24:27 a.m. So, which time is it? In either scenario, whether it be 2:30 a.m. or 3:30 a.m., there is a very decent chunk of time that Kenneka cannot be accounted for. We know that she sent Shemaya a text message at 1:20 a.m. saying that she was ready to go. We also know that Shemaya responded at 1:58 a.m. and Kenneka immediately left the room, per the text transcripts and the narratives in the case file. Where was Kenneka during that time? It surely does not take 25 to 85 minutes for an elevator to go from the 9th floor down to the lower lobby. Why is the actual timeline so unclear? These mysterious questions are the major reasons that this case has gained so much attention and so many support theories of a cover-up. There's so much to this case, and we at Fact Check TV just hope and pray that this baby gets the justice that she needs and ultimately deserves.
Mom, is Kenneka there?
No, I thought she was with you.
She was, but she walked out. We can't find her.
You need to look for her.
We looked all over for her, and we can't find her.
What do you mean you can't find her?
We came to Reed's birthday at the Crown Plaza, and we can't find her. We looked all over.
Look, bring my car back and I'll come up there.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Bye.
I received a phone call, 4:34 in the morning, from her friend, stating to me that my daughter's missing. They can't find her. So I asked them, could they take their time, just have a little patience at first, to see if they can find her. In the background, I hear one of the other friends stating, she tired of waiting, she tired of this, getting a little rowdy. So I asked them to calm down and just bring my car to me.
Teresa calls 911 from the parking lot, but it's late Saturday morning before Chicago police allow her to file a missing persons report.
911, where's the address of your emergency?
Yes, I'm at the Crown Plaza at O'Hare Airport, and I was calling because my daughter came to a party here last night, a gathering with her friends, and now her friends, they say that they left on the front of the hotel, and she's not able to be found now. She's 19 years old.
And you said that and you said the Crown Plaza at O'Hare Airport?
Yes, and they said that when her friends was asking earlier today, like about 4 o'clock in the morning, because they run the video cameras, they said that they didn't have no camera. But now I came, and it was a lady, she said that if she heard music, and she asked me that I want to go upstairs, and we went upstairs on the 11th floor, and it was someone came to the room, and she said that she did see my daughter there with a group of girls and a couple of guys. But that's all she just saw because she was busy trying to get reception on her phone.
All right, well then, you know what? Are you sure you don't mean the Crown Plaza in Rosemont?
Yes, the Crown. Yes, it is. I'm sorry, the Crown Plaza in Rosemont. That's exactly where it's at. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And have you spoke? And you said you spoke with the
front desk. I'm sitting outside, right in front of the hotel in a parking lot right now.
And they were saying that they haven't seen your daughter since she left, or?
No, this is different set. This is a different new. I'm sorry, it's a new shift, and they said that they haven't seen her. Well, of course they wouldn't have seen her because this is like 3 or 4 in the morning. And I just seen that she was here because I just found the ticket where they entered this hotel. It was at 1:36 p.m. So hold on, this is not her ticket because this is on the 6th. My daughter wasn't here on the 6th.
Okay, and real quick, I'm just gonna see if maybe she was here at all. What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Kenneka Jenkins.
All right, and can you spell her?
The room wasn't registering her name. She came with her friends here.
And I just want to verify. I'm about to say I actually just came in myself. Probably been on shift for about 45 minutes, so I just want to make sure that maybe she didn't get arrested and sent on her. You know what I mean? I just want to double check everything. But
thank you.
You're very welcome. But it doesn't look like we had any run-ins with her last night at all. Do you think it's possible maybe she went to one of her friends' houses, or she's probably?
No, actually, because she had my car. She was driving my car. She know I don't like nobody to drive my car because my insurance will not pay for nobody, no one besides her. And her friends kept calling my phone. I told them to stay out here. They stayed out here, but they called me like about 3-something in the morning. I was laying in the bed. I just had breast surgery. I fought had breast cancer. So I'm, sedated off medication early. And they telling me she out here. So once I rejuvenated, strengthened up myself enough to get up and drive out here to look for her. Once they brought me my car, I'm right out here. And I came to the hotel and I showed them a picture of her and I asked them if they see it. And there was a lady in the lobby and she heard me asking the front desk and she said it was music. She did hear music. She called and walked downstairs to report the room and come to find out it was the people next door. And when we knocked on the door, that person said that she did see my daughter downstairs it was like 4 of them and it was 4 of them. And she said my daughter, she was with 3 of her friends. So her 3 friends said, which then, these kids will tell the truth. They said that they went upstairs to get her cell phone. And when they went to get her cell phone, she was standing in the lobby, in the front lobby. And then when they came back down, she wasn't there anymore.
No, I completely understand. The one issue we have, and it's not necessarily that it's an issue, but she is an adult. She is 19 years old, and I mean, as of right now,
she's 19 years old. That's my daughter. She's 19. Her name Kenneka Jenkins, Kenneka.
No, yes. No, I remember that you told me that she's 19. But what I'm saying is that she, again, she's only been gone for a couple hours. She's, I don't know, maybe she's, she could be somewhere with one of her friends or something because, I mean, it is only a couple hours since you hadn't seen her, correct? Or since her friends supposedly hadn't seen her?
Correct. Let's say about 3 to 4 hours now, they said. They told me. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning when they called me.
Yeah. Well, I guess the one. Are you looking to file a missing persons report then, or are you just? Or would you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, Deborah. I just want to know: is it possible that maybe they can look at the cameras and see? It's because they send the police out here and ask them to look at the cameras and see if they've seen her on their cameras around that time.
I was about to say, even if I did send an officer, it would take a little bit in order for us to get the camera footage and for us to pass it on to the detectives division.
Okay. So what would you suggest?
Well, again, the only thing I would suggest maybe just give her a couple hours. She could have went somewhere with one of her other friends. I mean, and who knows what her friends are saying is true, you know what I mean?
Exactly. You could tell not to be saying, you could tell it don't sound right. I'm a parent. I've been young before. And it's not sounding right. It don't sound right, period. That's why I came out here myself. Because they said, and then it sounded like they had been drinking, honestly.
Yeah.
And I asked them, did she drink? And they said she had only 1 cup. But okay, my daughter ain't the type that normally, she can't even take liquor. Her liquor level is just like mine. We can't take liquor. We cannot take liquor. We take a sip of liquor, we drunk. Honestly.
No, I completely understand.
And I'm like, 1 cup is too much for her, and like I asked them. And then they end up with her cell phone. I pay her cell phone bill every month to make sure my daughter has a phone. How did she love her phone? I don't understand why would she leave her cell phone with you all and just go disappear? And she know I just had surgery. She know my predicament.
No, yeah. Well then, so then in that case, what I would recommend, just go home, relax a little bit, give it some time. Of all we know, she very well could still be in the room. She could just be passed out. Again, you know how it is. You drink it the night before, you get, what I mean, whatever else have you. So just give it a couple hours. Maybe see if she'll get a hold of you again. I mean, does she know your number?
Yes, she know my number very well. She's very smart.
Okay, well then, like I said, just give her a couple hours. You know what I mean? Give her some time. Again, maybe she went to one of her other friends' places, or maybe she is still in the room. Just knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yes, I thank you. Okay, and so how long does it take for me to file a missing person report?
Well, you can file it at any time. It just, like I said, just give it a little bit of time. If you hadn't heard from her by, I want to say about 10, 11 o'clock, then by all means, give us a call again. You can come to the station, and we can help you out from there.
Okay, I live in Chicago. Would it be better for me to come back to you all station, or should I go in Chicago and make out a missing report?
I think you could try to file it out in Chicago. They may tell you to come here since it happened in our town, but I do know that since she lives with obviously she lives with you in the city, I think this might actually fall on them. Or at least they'll be able to take the report, and then they'll get in contact with us, and we'll be able to help them out with the investigation from there.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter whichever one. If I have to come back out here, I'll come back out here. But as long as if we be able to see, if I come, okay, I give it to tomorrow. It's 24 hours. After 24 hours, do you think they'll still be able to see the video camera of today, the surveillance camera
Yes.
for today?
Yes. We definitely be able to get the footage.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll do that. Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
On 9/9/2017 at 11:29 p.m., Rosemont Police Department were called out to the Crown Plaza Hotel because Lenore and other family members were knocking on hotel guest doors looking for Kenneka. When they arrived on the scene, the detectives spoke with Lenore, who advised her sister Kenneka was missing, and the last time she was on social media was at 2:17 a.m. She had posted a video on Snapchat. The friend said the last time they saw Kenneka was on the 9th floor by the elevator. The Rosemont Police Department briefly reviewed the cameras and in fact did see Kenneka enter through the rear entrance at 1:13 a.m., but could not see her exit the building. The detectives requested to check room 926, but by this time the room had already been cleared by housekeeping. At this point, Rosemont PD asked management to continue to review the footage, and they quickly left. 20 minutes later, dispatch received a call stating the family had seen Kenneka through a window on the 11th floor. When the police arrived, the drapes were slightly pulled back, and the detective did observe a lot of movement, which had the appearance of a possible struggle. Once they questioned management about the room, they quickly learned it was not the 11th floor, but the 13th floor. They went to the 13th floor and checked all the rooms on the side of the building that Lenore may have seen her. They entered the room with permission from the occupant. The movement around the window was the actions of children attending a birthday celebration. Shortly after searching the room, the police received a call from management stating they saw Kenneka on footage at 3:30 a.m. This is when the search for Kenneka began. The following person that you are seeing in this video is the assistant food and beverage manager at the Crown Plaza Hotel. He also assists the hotel security at times when needed. On this particular day, this individual was searching the back kitchen while patrol officers were searching the dock area and the dock roof areas. He explained that this kitchen was originally a kosher kitchen which had been closed for approximately 2 months as renovations for an up-and-coming establishment were being prepared. He first checked a walk-in cooler. He explained that there is a second door with a walk-in freezer. It was when he went into the walk-in portion, he observed a body laying on its side. He stated that he only saw the body's legs, and at that point he stepped out of the freezer to direct patrol officers towards the freezer. The following recording that you're going to hear is when he went to get the officer to show him Kenneka Jenkins' body.
Well, when we was there, the Rosemont Police Department stated that they're the ones that found Kenneka. But with me looking at the news and reading in the newspapers, an employee found her.
Negative. I have that subject in the kitchen in a freezer. She is frozen solid. copies, make notifications, Rosemont. 601, you copy? Jerry, what kitchen you in? I'm in the rear by the dock area. All the garbage.
Many have wondered why the Chicago Police Department allow a Crowne Plaza employee to assist in the search of Kenneka Jenkins. When Fact Check TV reached out to Chicago Police Department to speak to the detective who was over the Kenneka Jenkins case, they advised they could not answer that question at the particular time. For those familiar with police procedures, this is not the correct process. This individual should have been accompanied by an on-duty officer. This particular footage has raised many questions and opened the door for speculations. Why did Rosemont provide incorrect information to Teresa Martin about who found her daughter's body? Though we may not have the answers to these questions, we do in fact know that something is terribly wrong here.
Is dead. Some people had mixed feelings about Teresa Martin's reaction when she saw her daughter in that kitchen lying on that gurney. Some people expressed views that, you know, this lady does not care about her daughter. How could she be so unresponsive to seeing her dead daughter lying on a gurney? I know that there's no right or wrong way to behave during times of grief or extreme stress. But sometimes that's not enough. That's why I am posting this video. In this video, you can see family and friends, it looks like, in the lobby. And you see some officers off to the left. Lenore walked in. She's the one wearing all black with the black bonnet. And in a few minutes, you'll see Miss Martin, Teresa Martin, walk in. Here she is now. Now she is, she's going to be taken down the hallway. As you can see, they're asking her and Lenore to come down the hallway. This is where I assume they give her the news, because she's only gone for a minute, which you'll see in a few minutes here. But everybody else who's in that hallway, they're waiting. They're waiting to hear what Miss Martin is told by the police. I don't think they're acting. As you can see, there's commotion. There's Miss Martin. Somebody's trying to hold her, but she's running out that door. Another family member falls to the ground. And you can tell there was a real loud noise. She must have been screaming, because you can see guests are now running into the lobby to see what's going on. To figure out, why are people yelling? Why are people shouting? That's the only thing I can think of. Why else would people come running? They're obviously making noise. They're obviously distraught. I see people crying. I see people breaking down. But once again, I could be wrong. I say all of this to say, and I'm showing this video to say, that we have to really think twice before we pass judgment on people's reactions and behaviors during times of high stress and grief. There's no right or wrong way to respond. People respond in different ways. So let's think twice before we pass judgment. And that's all I have to say. God bless.
The following person you are about to hear is Teresa Martin, Kenneka Jenkins' mother. These are the encounters that she had the day they found her daughter's body in the freezer.
how was she laying? The head detective, how was she laying? He stated she was laying on her side. And I said, was she laying, how was her legs? Was they curved, curved, like in a fetal position? Yes. He said, no, they were straight. I said, okay. Next question. Can I see my daughter? How she died? How she laid in the freezer? As I wanted to see her. He said, the detective stated yes. An hour or two went past, give or take. The sergeant come in with a very rude attitude. No, you cannot see her. It's against our procedures, our policy. You can't see her. So I asked him, with the card that the leading detective gave me, is it possible that he can write his name on the back of the card? He stated yes. After he stated yes, I said, and as well as your badge number. And I hear him whisper to the detective, badge number. So then he said, as everybody getting ready to round up to go, he said, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna speak with the coroners and see what they can do. So here we go, hours later. 5 hours, maybe a little bit more, but rounding it off, 5 hours later, they come to me and states, only I could come see her. Me, I'm allowed, and I could bring one more other person with me. That's when they allowed me. They walked us back there. They said, wait, this is a crime scene. You are not allowed to take any photos. You can't touch, and don't touch anything. And they watched us as if we was there. Like we was involved in it. It seemed like the crime scene was on us, not what went on with my daughter.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Sorry. No, at this time, they had removed her from the freezer. I asked them, yes, they removed her from the freezer. When they removed her from the freezer, by the time we came 5 hours or plus later, more later, rounding it off, Kenneka was laying on a stretcher in a white body bag already. They stated as well that there was no signs of foul play.
Right.
Like it was just a normal look. Well, see, we wouldn't even be sitting here today to guess it. It was the camera. As we went in there, if you could look at the video, me and my daughter, which is some of the parts what we did. As we went in there, I'm looking at my daughter, and I looked in her face. She had a disgusted look on her face. That's an angry look, or somebody agitating her, this type of look. So I'm looking, and then I asked them, I said, can I see the freezer? Because I work in the cafeteria. So you can't tell me that she walked in this freezer and couldn't get out, because of our freezers. And not only that, me working within the CPS, cafeterias, before, every freezer has a release button or some type of handle, whereas you can't get locked in this freezer unless you've been locked on the outside. You get locked in from the outside. And I see the freezer. Now, the leading detective stated to me, she just walked in the freezer. Mm-hmm. This is before I told him I worked within the cafeteria.
Right.
She walked in the freezer, and when she walked in the freezer, she walked in. He never mentioned it was a double freezer. Walked in the freezer, closed the door behind herself, and just froze to death.
Right.
So, I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
I said, so she couldn't get out? He said, no, she couldn't get out. So you're saying it's a double freezer? He said, yes, but on our way back there, if you can see in the video, I'm pointing my finger. I'm looking for cameras. I'm looking for cameras because that's my purpose, because you can't tell me this happened with no camera in around, and every time I point, I see a camera. Except when we go by the freezer, that's like blocked off, which it was a camera above that freezer. And, okay, we're going to go back to that. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. When I go back to the freezer, they had both of the doors open, and I'm like, here go a glow-in-the-dark plastic release button, big white glow-in-the-dark. I said, so is this a release button? He said, the detective said, yes. And the sergeant standing back there with us as well. As I said, we're being watched as if we're the criminal, right. we did this to my daughter, as if we was going to get arrested. So he stated, I asked him with the other freezer, the second door. I said, is this a release button? Big white button. Maybe, as they say, you couldn't see, but it was lightning in the freezer. And only thing we saw on the floor was a big piece of ice. That's when I stated I work in the cafeteria. I've been working there for 7 years. I say there shouldn't have been no way that she shouldn't have been able to get out these doors. I thought you told me, and I asked the detective, you said that she couldn't get out. How is that when is release buttons on each one of these doors? And he just shook his head. I would love for the FBI to come in. The reason why I said that, they stated it was a natural cause before any medical examiner or anything. So the Rosemont Police Department knew this would happen with no professionals. From looking at the pictures, obviously you will see that it was something going on. At least with that. If you would have just saw it without being a professional doctor or whatever, examiner or whatever, first thought would have been them being professional cops. Hey, it's something had to go on. And then to come to find out, after all that, at the closing meeting, my daughter asked them, did you all take fingerprints? And they said no.
Unfortunately, to this day, Teresa Martin has not received answers to many of the questions that she's had regarding the death of her daughter, Kenneka Jenkins. The police mishandled this case from the beginning. Not once did they treat the area where Kenneka Jenkins' body was found as a crime scene. The Rosemont Police Department seems to have had the answers to Kenneka Jenkins' death from the beginning. From the moment they entered into this crime scene and noticed Kenneka Jenkins' body, they automatically labeled it an accidental death. Well, here are some of the reasons why Fact Check TV has a very big problem with what Rosemont Police Department has provided to the world. Unfortunately, from the beginning, as we've said, they always labeled this an accidental death. The police officers never entered into the scene with paper bodysuits, paper mask which should cover the nose and mouth, eye protection, latex gloves, sleeve protectors, shoe covers, or hairnets. They never fingerprinted the scene, and they also allowed unauthorized personnel to enter. At some point in the video, you will see a security guard from the Crown Plaza Hotel enter into an active crime scene. That's always been alarming for Fact Check TV. Not only are there times when they've allowed unauthorized personnel, but they should have never allowed Teresa Martin nor Lenora into that area. If you look at the pictures, you'll also notice that there is a spray bottle and a coffee cup that is sitting on the counter closer to the freezer. These two particular items were never collected by Rosemont Police Department. As you will notice in later articles that were put out by Chicago Tribune, these two particular items still laid in the kitchen in their very spots. Fact Check TV has always had a question regarding this particular situation. It always raised alarms because one of the questions that we've always had is it a possibility that the person who could have killed Kenneka could have used that coffee cup? Well, we'll never know because there was no DNA ever collected off of any of those items. Another thing that really raised alarms in the social media world was the coroner. There's a particular point in the video where you will see the coroner and another individual that arrived with him. He will open his jacket and place a plastic bag under his coat. This is what we at Fact Check TV consider incorrect evidence filing. Also, it has been brought to our attention that there were particular items that were given to Teresa Martin and Lenora the day they were able to view Kenneka's body at the kitchen area of the Crown Plaza Hotel. These particular items were a watch, a hair tie, and a belly button ring. Despite the presence of evidence or lack of it, a crime scene investigator must never leap to conclusions based on initial appearances. Many inexperienced officers and crime scene investigators often miss vital signs that contradict what their eyes may be seeing. Process every crime scene as if it's a murder has occurred, no matter what, and avoid the possibility of allowing a criminal to go free just because what looked like a suicide or looked like a possible accident was not thoroughly investigated. Always listen and pay special attention to what friends and relatives say, especially in the case of what appears to be accidental. Only through combining victimology and thoroughly processing a crime scene will the crime scene investigator reach the truth of the matter. It seems like at some point, for some mysterious reason,
as I watched Teresa and Lenora walk into the kitchen, this mother bewildered and shocked seeing her baby girl laying on the stretcher, I wondered to myself, why would they allow them to go to the freezer where she was found? Why do you see so many people other than the detectives and the crime scene analyst? You see hotel employees, the funeral director and his assistant, and additional uniformed officers in this area. They come back again to where Kenneka is laying on that stretcher, the police officer telling Teresa that she is not allowed to touch Kenneka as her body is a crime scene. If this is true, why was nothing sealed off in that kitchen, including not allowing Teresa to view her body? Here's my question. According to the police report, you notified Teresa of Kenneka's death at 1:15 a.m. At 2:40 a.m., you interviewed Teresa about the events leading up to her death. The medical examiner arrives at 3:08 a.m., leaves at approximately 3:32 a.m. In 24 minutes, the medical examiner has surveyed and taken pictures of this area and stated this was an accident. Why then did you not allow her to kiss her baby goodbye?
Fact Check TV has taken the time to read every narrative and document names, dates, times, and photos. The following pictures that you are seeing are individuals who did attend the party at the Crown Plaza Hotel the day Kenneka Jenkins was found missing. However, there are two individuals whose names stuck out the most to us, Killa and Patrick. They did an interview on Zach TV, and this is snippets of the following interview.
Okay, when y'all realized shit's serious, what did y'all do?
Shit, we fuck anybody else to do. Door to door. We door to door. Flow to flow. Around and looking.
So y'all going like what time? It was 3, 4 in the morning. And y'all don't give a fuck who sleep. Y'all knocking on every door.
Talking, hey, y'all seen her? Anything? Y'all seen her? Asking behind the desk, anything? Hey, y'all see it. You seen the girl in the blue jean jacket? Y'all seen our friend? What anybody else do if they say they friend missing? Everybody start participating looking.
And y'all told, and is it true? Yes or no? Y'all told the security, play the camera back.
And we walked up to the front desk. First of all, when we told him, man, when we told the guy behind the desk, we say, we seen our friend's missing, man. His reaction wasn't like a regular reaction as somebody that works at a hotel. If you behind the front desk of a hotel, a big hotel like that, you would think that they would be more concerned. You would think that they gonna call the police. You don't think that they gonna give a helping hand, reaching out to us. It wasn't too much like a concern for him. He really kind of walked.
When did you get the call that she was found?
Like the next day. The next day on Saturday around like the midday. Night. Was it like night? Yeah, like.
Hold up, you got it Saturday night?
No, night. Like born like Sunday or some shit like that.
Okay, so okay.
When they found it, like no matter of fact.
Sunday when they found it, that's when they found it.
No,
Saturday night when they still looking.
No, we went Friday. That was Saturday. The kickback was Friday. Exactly. Saturday to midday, because I remember it was midday, because that's when they hit. That's when they called the phone. They was like, they found Kenneka. We like. Where? And then they was like, they found it. We like, wait, what? What? How the fuck she get it now? If we was all around this hotel, where was she? How did this happen? You get what I'm saying? Like, man, it was just like mind boggling. Like, fuck, like you just stuck like for a second. Like, wait, what? It's crazy, man. Like.
Well, y'all was looking for, did anybody think, like, let me go down to the basement? Or y'all like, fuck it, we don't got access to that?
Man, we ain't know
exactly.
Like that. I thought the first floor was the first floor, shit. Yeah, we ain't no basement, some shit.
Yeah, I ain't no basement.
It's our first time in that motherfucker.
We was just walking around, and the back part, like, okay, once you go back towards like the kitchen, like, okay, everybody know how a hotel is. You know how like how they have a chair set up on the table. If it's the weekend, it's like it's over with. You know, like it's closed. They don't like the restaurants don't be open. It's the weekend, so it's like it was nighttime, and then it was closed. So walking back there, you get like a creepy little sense of vibe. Even the toughest guy, you gonna get like you're not finna just wander off into these people hotel. That's off limits first.
Right, like some scary movie.
You know what I'm saying? It's like who finna go all the way back there, which put me in the mindset like. How would she go back there? You know what I'm saying? The same route that you get to that kitchen is the same route as the exit. The exit you go to your cars.
Right.
It's the same route. it's the same way. You get what I'm saying?
So you like, why would she take that exit? Did you ever think, for once, did anybody ever think like, she in the fucking basement? She gonna be downstairs?
Yeah.
Do y'all think somebody forced her down there?
Yeah,
I think somebody lured her.
Who is Roland F. Weiss? We're going to get into that. But let's start from here. At 3:22 a.m., going by the timestamp, knowing they altered the time, but let's just say for now, 3:22 a.m., Ty Pease, Bree, Dusty Rhodes, aka Fonifa, like friend of foe, or for now, Monifa, and Shamaya is seen walking through the food court hall to quote unquote find Kenneka. Now, as the kids go down to the lower level, as you can see, the timestamp changes to 4:24. So always be mindful of how the time changes. They so-called search for Kenneka. Did they go into the kitchen this way or just go up the escalator? Because none have explained exactly where they searched for Kenneka. Now, 4:24 a.m., the kids walked to the back or wherever they went to when they came down those lower level stairs. 9 minutes later, now mind you, the clock says 4:24. 9 minutes later, Tiffy follows behind them. 15 minutes later, Roland Weiss follows them as well. Why is Roland Weiss, a funeral coordinator, is present on the scene 21 hours before he's told to get Kenneka's body? Now, let's briefly, very briefly, compare the guy who's walking in the food court hall and that's walking into the kitchen to retrieve Kenneka's body. He has a bald spot, he got glasses, he got a blue jacket, black pants, black shoes. Let's look at the time stamp, family. It is 9/9/2017, September 9th. Now, he's there 21 hours later. And peep out the way he walks as well. Now, he's in the kitchen. Look at the date. September 10th, 4:43. I think that's a.m. Why is he there? Look at the jacket. Look at the walk. Look at the bald spot in the back of his head. Okay? Just look at the way he walks. The same exact person. Now, why is he there? Roland Weiss, why are you there? Over 21 hours before it was time for you to come pick her up out of that freezer. Huh? Let's continue.
First and foremost, I did view the video. Some parts of the video that I won't get into to hamper this investigation, but the important part is that we all was wondering and wanted to know, did anybody pull her down there? Did anybody force her down there? Was anybody on the other side in that room with her when she got down there? And the answer to that is no. She walked into that unsecured area that should have been secured with locks on there where she couldn't get in there. Now, I've been inside the freezer down there in the front.
Andrew Holmes just popped up from nowhere. He stated to me, I asked him when he called my phone, who gave you my number? Who is you? He stated that he was somebody because I'm asking for help. So I'm figuring, you know, he coming to help me. And he stated to me that he was from Chicago Police Department. He's a special investigator and he's gonna get me answers.
I've had some good days, and I've had some hills to climb, and I've had some weary some sleepless nights. Oh, but when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days, and I won't complain. Sometimes the clouds are low and I can hardly see the road. I ask a question, Lord,